It is a world of darkness. The sin of Cain has spawned the cursed horror that stalks the night in search of living blood. The kindred have long been a secret influence through all ages of human history, plotting against each other in a never-ending jihad. Their immortal progeny are among us to this day, hidden from the eyes of humanity by an elaborate masquerade.
person. You get several posts. Yeah, you get several posts behind, and
True.
Yeah. We were talking about the Salem Game Dome.
But my character from that was pretty cool. She's a Sabat or an ex-Sabat gangrel, and her pack was based on like
I didn't realize you played a vampire in that game too.
yeah.
Oh.
Her pack was like cryptid based, and they were a roving pack, and so they would like they all had like deformations that made them look like cryptids.
Okay.
oh,
My
cool.
character has horns, and she has like crazy weird fingers, and
Interesting.
yeah, she's very inhuman looking, but
Oh.
it's a cool concept. I really
Yeah.
like the concept.
It is.
Okay, so we are live. As we were talking about a game that I tried starting up, didn't quite succeed, but that is okay.
There's interest here to bring back those characters. We all liked that one shot. Just saying.
And the the sorcerers that we played a couple times.
Maybe we can bring them in on a Saturday Blood Ties game or something.
That
I
is
don't
that is totally an option.
That would be fun.
Those
Now
characters
that
are
they'll
obviously still
be-
around.
Now that they'll be rescued,
Well, maybe.
liberated.
Yeah.
After today.
Let's see.
You have high hopes
Cough,
for today.
cough.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Okay,
I'm out.
Oh, no.
I have
Just
no
kidding,
hope.
no, just
On
kidding.
the scale of like liberating Portland to total party wipe, where do you think we should be?
Oh,
I like how you told us, like,
Portland party wipe.
no. Yeah. Too close.
and I like how Jerome told us, like, oh, listen, don't be too cautious. Just, go for it. And like,
Mm-hmm.
As Davy Jones,
Still
said,
an
may the
option
dice
just
ever
to
be in your favor.
mushroom the place. Just saying.
I do have a question. Do I still get my dice roll that I got from last game? I didn't use
Yeah.
it last game.
Mhm.
Okay.
Oh
still
yeah,
have
you
it.
get to keep that.
So,
Keep it
as
until you
a
use it.
brief recap, as to kind of where we're at, the group has made their way into Portland. The vampires have kind of holed up at a B&B just on the outskirts of town nearby, with just enough lookouts to kind of keep them hopefully in the clear, while the rest have gone on inside to attempt to what was originally to probe and, or as they would say in
Study.
Spies Like Us, I'm probing for musculature and skeletal growth. We mock what we don't understand. Yeah, so it's sort of a high-level humor there from that movie. Anyways, they had originally investigated the ruins and the ward that quote-unquote prevented non-Sabbat vampires from entering into their temple. And that's when they kind of pushed forward and broke the rune and encountered some trouble. And where once there was 4, now there are 3. If I wouldn't get copyright struck, I would play Mission Impossible in the background right now. And I'd put a little animated GIF at the bottom of the page that just had a fuse that was burning, along the very bottom of the screen, for added effect. But this is all we're going to have for tonight. Revis unfortunately had to bow out at the last minute. He's in the process of moving, but probably works out anyways because he was severely burninated at last game, attempting to get information from one of the other vampires. So,
Yep, he once again unstaked somebody that shouldn't have been unstaked.
He did.
yes,
Oh yeah, that's right. And our captive is now in the wind.
yes, he is.
Yeah.
we
He couldn't do it a third time.
Presumably,
now-
the place did get caught on fire.
We can add the train museum and Lily's dad to the in memoriam reel at the end of the season.
But if we do that, we have to have that song from Sarah McLachlan that plays at all
In the arms
Yeah,
of
there you go.
the angels.
We got to have that play in the background, just kind of softly. And yes, Trish's player is in the chat right now. So everybody say hi to Haley.
Hey.
Hi, Haley.
We miss you.
Help us.
I have a question, Jerome. Would I have
one?
time to take a swig out of the 6-demon bag as I'm searching?
Yeah.
Basically take it out, do one of those
What,
numbers.
didn't you already use it up?
No, I decided to wait until I decided to wait to use it until the vampires got there.
Okay.
But I didn't use it on the sorcerers yet, but I still have it with me. It was
Okay.
the plan to use it later.
Sure. Okay. So
So I'll take my portion out of it.
you're going to take
so
a
that I
swig
have
on the 6-demon bag. Okay.
Okay. So I remember last we left off that basically Colin was like, "Are you about done yet?" Basically, because shit hit the fan. But then I went and moved stuff half mile away.
Right. And you guys started going inside.
Yes. So, and I have my sword lit up because it's dark.
That is correct.
So, basically, I'm gonna look back at Colin. I'm like, this wasn't the plan. We wasn't supposed to get all the way inside. Do I keep going?
So he looks to you and shrugs. He's like, I'm following your lead. I mean, at this point, the ward's broken, so they're going to know something's up.
But I don't know how far in she is.
Yeah, neither do I.
So I don't know if this is something that they were put her in to come up immediately. Can I do a look around? Do I see anything that looks like it might be warded as well in any of where I'm at? I don't know where I'm at.
Give me no, you guys are you're at an intersection. It crosses out, it goes right and left because these are service tunnels that go underneath the city.
Okay. All right. So then the necklace that I have that basically that warms up when there's a vampire near, would that detect a vampire that was also staked?
Yeah.
Okay.
It detects a vampire's presence. Not
And right now it's not lit up at all, right?
No.
Or not heated up at all.
Correct.
Okay. So then okay, so I'm gonna tell Colin to wait there.
Okay.
And I'm gonna move forward a little bit, and I'll try to be quick. If I don't see anything within the next 30 seconds, we're just gonna go. Okay.
Okay.
So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm
So
basically gonna try to rush forward a little bit.
You can go right or left.
I'm gonna go right.
Okay. So you start walking further down the right side. Of course, you're still seeing signs posted down here of kind of where you're at, like the intersection and whatnot. And they're because again, it's service tunnels. So there is a little bit of lighting down here, but it's very minimal. In fact,
well, my sword is lit up, so that should project a nice
but I'm
area
talking about
effect.
what would normally be down here as you're walking along with your sword, and it's providing illumination as you go. You can see that some of these lights down here have been broken.
Okay. When you say broken, just I don't know, just busted out or okay.
Yeah, because they're the type of lights that have they're like a wall sconce, but it has the kind of bars that go across them to quote unquote prevent it from being damaged accidentally, which doesn't really help when somebody purposely gets something that can go in between them and breaks it.
Okay, does it look deliberately broken then?
Oh yeah.
Like someone went through and went as they were going.
Yep.
That's weird.
Shelly, can you mute yourself?
I'm assuming they just broke the follow by thing.
Thank you.
Okay. So I guess I'm just gonna follow it down a little bit. I'm basically looking for more warded doors.
What is the radius on your necklace?
You know what? I don't know actually. Yeah, I have no idea actually. Sorry. Let me pull it up here. Fetish. No, it just says necklace with a charm that heats up when in the presence of vampires. So I truthfully do not know.
Okay. 1 second then.
If you want to give me one or a radius.
Okay, so we're gonna say it has a radius of 50 feet.
Okay, that's decent. Okay, I'll make a note of that. 50 foot.
And you're not feeling anything as of this point. However, further down this hallway, well, service tunnel, you can see that there's tagging in here.
What does the tagging say?
Hard to say. You actually can't make it out.
Okay.
Give me a wits and investigations check.
Okay, wits.
Difficulty 7.
Oh, that's not many. Difficulty 7.
Difficulty 7.
One.
1 second.
Stupid ones.
No momento. I am glitching. Not that's a big deal. And now I'm back. And it's still showing me that way. Okay. Let me back out back in. 1 second.
I was like, am I the only one who's seeing Jerome's like?
I was about to ask.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
like his hand is going like.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, it's actually like half the thing. So like.
Yeah,
this,
exactly.
you know.
Yeah.
I don't know why. It's just a camera. I'll be right back. 1 second. Okay. That is weird. That's what I thought. Doggone it. Okay. Come on. Apologies. I know you guys can hear me. You can't hear them. 1 second. I think I have to reboot my camera completely. There we go. Of course, they can hear each other. You can't hear them. There we go.
This is the out of
Welcome
time.
back.
Wait, have we been live this whole time?
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay, cool. Okay.
but the thing is, they can people watching can see you chat, but I don't think they can actually hear you.
Oh man.
Oh dang! 'Cause-
Oh,
I was
that
gonna
would've been-
say, wait till Jerome rewatches this bit.
yeah.
No, because the volume is coming through the window I have my window for chat, so that way I know how to control it. But in this one instance, I actually had to reboot my camera itself. So it's really weird. I don't know how GoPro is able to do that. It just has that split screen and then one flickers. I don't know. Oh, well.
So I got one success on whatever I'm rolling for.
Ooh, no. All right. So the first thing you think of is that this is a service access tunnel for the city. and you had to get through a locked steel door to get in here.
Okay.
How many thugs do you think would get through a locked steel door to go tag something that nobody else can really see?
No, they wouldn't.
Take pictures of it.
Well, yeah, I was gonna pull out my phone actually, and
So it's.
I'm gonna go ahead and, take a couple of snaps.
It probably says.
Can I
like,
see what it says with the flash on now on the phone?
What do you mean? See what it says?
Because you said there was tagging on there. So what is the tagging? I basically took out my phone and took pictures.
It just doesn't make any sense to you. It looks like basic gibberish.
Okay.
But not cursive gibberish.
Yeah.
But not cursive. That is correct.
Okay. But I have no idea what it means. Okay. So is there any further way down, or is it blocked off at that point?
It keeps going. It actually hangs an immediate left.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna go ahead and go left. Basically, I'm kind of trying to keep an eye on how much time I'm spending down here.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna go a little bit further, and then I'm probably just gonna make my way back.
Okay. At this point, you come to another door, another access door. But this one actually has the similar marking on it. Now, I mean, it still has obviously the signs that indicate it's in civil use for Portland and so on and so forth, like you would normally see. But somebody's actually gone so far as to tag the door.
Okay, so can I study it real quick? Because the taggings could be symbolic, possibly a ritual.
What's the symbology?
Yeah. So what am I?
As they would say in Boondock Saints.
Enigmas and intelligence,
It would be, yes.
Okay.
It's a good movie. One of my favorites.
Yeah.
Enigma.
It's the symbolism.
I'm gonna go ahead and burn a will for an auto.
Okay.
I am keeping track. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Difficulty
While you
6?
guys are while you guys are out storming the gates, Trish is trying to get a Great Dane.
4, 5 with the auto.
5 with the auto.
Trish is trying to get a Great Dane.
Yes. She wants a doggo.
That's a Haley wants a doggo through Trish.
Yes. Absolutely. So you look at it, you're still not able to make out what exactly it's saying, but based upon what you saw before, it looks like it's probably directions.
Directions. Okay.
So whatever language they may be using, it's clearly a code of some kind. This isn't your typical gangland tagging that you might see on an overpass or on an abandoned building or something like that.
Okay. Okay. So, and I have no idea what it says. And this is just a door. This is where it stops at.
Yes.
Okay. Is it possible to open the door?
I don't know. You tell me.
Oh, I'm gonna try to open the door.
Okay.
I mean, is it locked?
Okay. Yeah, I was gonna say, how are you gonna test that? So you
Jiggle the knob.
you touch the handle, it goes down, it's unlocked.
Do I feel anything with my necklace?
Not as of yet.
Okay, I'm opening the door real quick.
Okay. Down here, there are. It's more of the access way, but none of the lights down here are broken.
There's some Zamisi hellhounds down here.
Fuck no.
That's all.
Okay, so I see the access door. And am I able to see, is there enough light for me to see how far down it goes, or?
Yeah, it goes down, I don't know, maybe 200 some odd feet or so.
Yeah, I can't go that far.
The lights are spaced out as it goes, so there's some intermittent light. But from what you can tell, it looks like it continues on, but it also, like, there's a break in it, so it looks like you could possibly go left.
Yeah, okay. I'm not willing to go that far down without somebody with me, so I'm going to go ahead and close the door.
Okay.
as quietly as I can, if that's even possible. And then, yeah, cringe. I'm gonna go ahead and make my way back
Okay.
as quickly as possible.
Okay, so you get back to that the door where you have broken the ward against. Colin and Jesse are still kind of looking around. Jesse looks like he's very eager to shoot something right now. He's very nervous.
Okay, I tell him let's go. I've gone as far down as I can see.
Where are we going?
Back, I don't know, to where we're safe.
Oh, okay, so we're heading out then?
Yeah, I'm there. It goes down further, but it's too far down, and I don't want to put you guys at any further risk.
All right.
So,
So you guys turn to go walking, walking back out the way you came, and you end up hearing something screeching to a halt
oh,
outside that door.
the door that
You guys
we're
came
heading
in.
towards.
Yeah.
Shit. I give Colin the bag. I tell him to drink out of the bag. And the other, I don't know who else. Who was the other person? Sorry,
Doug and
Jesse.
Jesse.
Doug and Jesse.
Doug and Jesse.
I give them, tell them to take a swig out of it.
Okay. Okay. No, I'm just kidding.
It'll help boost you just in case
He
something
doesn't
happens.
speak like that anymore.
Right.
Okay, so they both, or all three, I should say, take a swig real quick, and as you
I knew this was gonna happen.
as you are waiting for them to finish with your 6 demon bag, give me a perception and alertness check.
Perception and alertness. Okay. Perception.
Dun, 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 dun.
One.
All right.
I'm the queen of ones tonight.
Perceptive. So, staring down this well, I mean, it's still daylight, so it's still pretty lit from the outside daylight. You can see somebody approaching the door that you guys have left open, and you hear this well, you see a guy come walking up, and he's in like really ratty looking clothes. He's got almost like Popeye forearms, like just kind of oversized musculature to his his forearms. They're a little bulbous.
Human.
He looks human. He's
Just
not
checking.
quite shaped like human. Like his fingernails are a bit longer than they need to be. He's got kind of like a ratty looking beard and whatnot. And he comes walking up and he says, "Hey, yeah, Mac, somebody done got through the door." And you hear some more. You hear some doors opening up and some other footsteps approaching.
I look at Colin like, fuck. These are probably, they're probably their goals. I don't know. How many do we see? Do they see us? Or is
It doesn't sound like anybody sees you as of yet. You guys are like all the way in there. But if you keep standing at the intersection, you'll get seen.
Okay. I'm gonna motion them towards, basically I'm gonna lead them around the corner where I know. So that we're hidden, basically.
Okay, so so which way? Around the corridor that you went down, or the other one?
Around the corridor that I went down, because
Okay.
that's what I know. Can I tell how many there are?
By the voices, at least 5.
Jesus. Okay.
There's obviously some frantic chatter, but it's hard to keep up on because they're like talking over one another and whatnot. But there's clearly multiple voices out there.
Okay.
So everybody at this point starts backing up and whatnot, and you see Colin ends up drawing a black blade off his back.
Yeah. Guessing these guys are human, ish. Okay, so when I was going back there, did I recognize that there was an access point that led out of here, not just down? I don't remember. Sorry,
It just went further inside.
just further inside, and those weren't broken.
You have no idea if where exactly it went. You just know it went further.
Okay. Okay. So basically, if we're around the corner, I'm gonna look towards Colin. I'm like, can either fight them or we can go further down. But I don't know what's further past this, about 200, 300 feet down.
Okay, so he looks to the others, like, and they kind of shrug, and he says, so the proof outside, with the exception of the blood, is all gone. If we go out there and if we go out there and fight them, who knows what we're going to run into?
Right.
So as he's kind of thinking, and he's trying to do it quick. He's like looking back and forth and trying to make
I know, like what's the lesser
right. Like
risk?
do we run inside? Do we do we make a break for it? As he turns around, you see basically a face come from around the corner, sort of thing, and has like this surprised look, and Jesse freaks because it surprised him, and then the gunshot goes off, and the face isn't there anymore.
Wait,
as a body goes
what just happened
down the ground.
Just shot somebody.
Oh yeah, Jesse freaked out and took somebody's head off with a shotgun blast.
Okay, so that just alerted them to us being here.
Yeah, and so at that point, Colin's like, "Oh crap!"
All right.
And so you can hear, a bunch of people starting to come down the hallway that you guys were. I should say the access corridor, the way you're trying to get out.
Okay. So we can either run, or there's a door that's down there that we can open and try to shut them out, but it wasn't locked before. Or we can go ahead and take them out.
We'll do that. Just go. Lead the way.
Okay. All right. She'll lead.
Okay.
Run down where she remembers.
So as you start running down, that way at this point, Doug, Colin, and Jesse are kind of like backing up, like their backs are to you, and occasionally trying to fend off something coming at them. Like as you're running the other way and glance back occasionally to try to see like where they're at, you see like flashes of something. There's like loud pops of gunfire in here. You'll see something like get like really close, and then like as it rears back and whatnot. And as you guys start backing up closer to the door, I mean it echoes like crazy in here. Doug and Jesse follow you through the door, and you end up seeing Colin. He makes a gesture with his hands. He crosses over and touches the sides in front of the door, and then he does like one of these numbers to touch both the bottom and the top, and you see kind of like a gate of fire erect in front of the door, and he backs up real quick, and you can see that what was human isn't really human anymore. Like it's got like one of them's got kind of like a telescoping neck and like lunging out, and they've got like barbs coming off their arms and whatnot, looking like really monstrous looking humans, almost as if they got dropped off in the set of the Thing.
Getting Silent Hill vibes.
Yeah, for real.
And at that point, he just shuts the door. It doesn't matter. He's slammed it. And he's like looking around. He says, "Okay, so I guess we go forward into the Dungeon of Doom."
Yeah. Unfortunately, that's the only other direction I know. Now, I know that this will have these types of places usually have an out, but I don't know where the other exit is. So, yes, down. Unless we want to fight those.
Okay. So he just motions forward, and then as he's got his sword out, he goes, "Oh, hey, we got spirits nearby."
Uh-oh. Um. Okay.
They're not going to be able to do anything against us. My sword is warded against them, so
Okay.
so long as you guys stay close, we'll be fine. If that's provided they could actually do anything, but that's not going to stop them from following and watching us.
I mean, there's nothing else we can do. So let's keep going. Let's try to find either where Damaris is held or a way out of here.
Agreed.
So,
okay.
Let's go. She's just gonna keep going. She has her sword as well lit up for light.
And you can hear like ambient noise, in the background, occasional growls or the echoing of stone against stone.
I'm shutting the door, the access door behind us.
Oh yeah, it was already shut.
Oh, okay. Okay. So lead down, and I'm just going. I do as I don't know if we're talking really, but it goes about 200 feet down, and then it looks like there's a way for it to go. I think left, perhaps. So from here,
okay.
Your guess is as good as mine on where to go.
Yeah, so you go down as far as it's going to go before it branches off again. You can end up going to the left if you want. Or you can, as it goes, or as you start walking, you can, quickly pace, I should say.
Yeah.
This inside service tunnel ends up like it goes, and then it makes it, like basically you can go to your right, or if you go down a little bit further, it's going to buck off to its left. But then that's as far as this particular service tunnel goes.
I don't know, left.
So keep going down and go left?
Yeah.
Or we're going to go right. So,
I don't know at this point. I'm just picking a direction and going. I'm blind. I'm traveling blind. I don't know the tunnels.
Yeah. No. So, he's looking around, and of course he doesn't really know what's going on down here either. And Doug like raises his hand, and Colin swats him, on the shoulder, and he's like, "This is not a raise the hand moment, Doug. Just if you got an idea, spit it out.
Please, anything will help."
And so he's like looking around. And he says, "Okay, well, based on the direction we went, if we go left, we're going to be going back towards the way we came."
Oh, so we're going in a circle.
Okay, so good tip. Don't raise your hand. Just if you got an idea, get it out there.
So go back and go left or go right then.
So we're going to go right. Okay. So, and at this point, Jesse, you can hear the shotgun kind of rattling from Jesse at this point, because Jesse's, he's very, very nervous.
Oh, it's okay. I put my hand on his shoulder. I'm like, it's going to be okay. Trying to calm him because I'm scared shitless too.
Yeah. So you guys go down, and you're seeing more of the tagging, but it's like more on both sides of the wall. It's like kind of all encompassing, like to the point it's almost like paint on the walls.
I think I'm gonna point that out to them. I think this is very specific. This is not normal tagging for a gang. I think this is directions.
He says, I guess so. And he's just kind of like looking around. And as you guys, the access tunnel opens up into a large room. There an exit from this room on the other side, and it opens up like double wide. It's no longer a tunnel, but it's like an actual, like, fairly big hallway. The room itself is 3x3, in the sense that there's like these three what appear to be kind of long stone boxes in the middle, and they're all lined up accurately. So it's kind of like it's a grid formation. So 3 by 3, making kind of like a 9 square grid.
And I'm sorry, these are what kind of stones? Like just
Square stones.
square stones.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
They probably
Are there any
come off the ground by about 2 feet, maybe, kind of pedestal-ish.
Does this look like a seating area?
No.
Okay. Do I see any symbols on anything?
There do appear to be symbols on them, yes.
Okay. Can I look at them and possibly understand what they are?
What languages do you speak?
French, Latin, and Spanish.
Oh, good job. They're in
And
Spanish.
Italian?
Oh, cool.
Probably Italian.
Oh, and Italian. Sorry, that's her native language.
Right. So, they're in Spanish, and they have little plaques that are about, I don't know, greeting card size. And they are all, as you're looking at them, they're all plaques to somebody who's dead.
Oh.
You are in a crypt.
Oh. Guys, this is a crypt. These names, I'm just going to point at the placards real quick. These people are dead.
So he's like looking around, and Colin's like, that explains the spirits. Crap.
I would guess.
And Doug at this point's like looking around. He's like, this sounds so much like the Sabbat. Is that who we're going against?
Yes, I believe so.
Oh, I should have stayed home. These guys are animals.
Well, we're here now. We either go back the other way we came and face what's behind the firewall, or we keep going and try to find our way out of here. You would think that they would have a backup, a way to get out in case, stuff hit the fan.
Yeah, they have to. Okay, so forward we go, I guess. And you guys, kind of barrel through these crypts, a little creeped out.
I'm not touching them if I can help it.
As you guys get to the where it opens up and becomes a hallway. By the way, there aren't any more of the lighting sconces on the side. These are all lit torches now.
Okay.
And they're not. It doesn't look like they're providing a whole lot of light. Not that it matters.
I can think of it as the LED torches. The
Yeah,
fire
exactly.
hazard.
Yeah.
The fire marshal would have a fit.
No, but yeah, there's like embers at this point, on the side. So they probably need to be, relit or whatnot. So they're not really providing much in the way of light.
Okay.
You guys are fine though. You've got your light from your sword. However, as you guys get to that hallway, and start crossing it, because it opens up into another large room, you can hear slabs behind you moving.
Uh-oh.
You should have set them on fire.
I could still do that. But
And they turn around, and Colin's like, we've got the dead rising behind us.
We've got to go. Get the fuck out of
Okay.
Get out of here.
So you guys head into the.
I'm also starting to panic a little bit.
Understandable. So you head into. You end up heading to. I would say it's kind of like a room, but really it's just more of like an opening that has hallways that go off of it, and you can go. You go north. You can continue going west, basically, or you can go south.
I'm gonna look at Doug. He seems to be the more directionally able here. So
okay, so he at this point he shrugs. He's like, "I got nothing. I don't know where we're at."
Okay, keep going north. Maybe I don't know.
Okay, so you end up going north. You open up. It goes to a hallway that basically just turns. And as you go down the hallway, there's a lot of script on the walls in here. Almost as if it gives you the impression of the a forgotten soldier monument in Washington D.C. It's like a lot of just names, on the wall. And as you guys are walking along, on the opposite side of that wall, up to 3 high, and then it goes all the way down the other side. They're all crypts.
Oh Jesus. Okay, let's keep going.
Okay, so you keep going at this point.
I don't know where else to go.
And it ends up stopping, and then with another look to again turn to your left, it goes and it stops in a nook that has nothing but crypts, all over it.
Dead end.
Yeah, dead ends.
Fuck. Okay, let's go back.
So as you guys start coming from around the corner, you start to see some of the undead coming for you guys down the hall.
Can we start running like past them? Like we're not past them, but
you'll have to fight your way through.
All right. How many of them are there?
Enough to
Say 9.
Enough to completely impede your progress.
I gave you a roll, my dear.
Me? So I have
Yes.
2 rerolls now?
Yes.
Okay, good.
So
Oh,
at this
Lord.
point,
All right.
so at this point, I mean, I'm not going to have zombies roll for initiative. That would just be stupid.
Can I give a reroll to Colin?
No, because that gives it to me as an ST, and I could use that for the zombies.
Yeah, please don't.
Colin's got the infinity abs. He'll be fine.
It's true.
Oh yeah, Jerome. That's
Activate
what we were
the ab
talking
of
about.
time.
That's what we were talking about when we were like when
find
you were
my
rebooting your camera.
The infinity abs, huh?
Yeah,
Okay.
he's got one. Yeah,
And each of his abs gives him a dot of charisma.
Okay.
Okay, so let me.
You guys end up getting into a fight. I'm only worried about you right now at this point. A zombie lunges in and bears down on you. And by the way,
Okay.
all these zombies here look like they're fairly fresh. Probably only a week or 2, maybe 3 are old. Like there's decaying, but there's still flesh.
Okay.
Gross.
Sorry. Yeah, really, really nasty.
how does Jesse feel? Isn't Jesse like a Frankenstein?
Yeah. What do you think he feels like he's at home? No.
He's like Bob, Frederick, like cousins.
You look like death.
Power. Conjuration.
Wait, what clan was the Archbishop again?
Harbinger of the Skulls.
That's a
Hellfire. Okay.
bloodline, right?
It is, yes. A necromantic bloodline.
That's what I was thinking, because I was like, I don't know which one makes zombies. I'm
Eje.
nice.
So, are you ready, Sansa?
Yeah, sorry, I was pulling up I just wanted to pull up the mechanics of my like Hellfire sword and stuff.
I'm going to give you the action first because zombies are slow.
Okay.
However, if you bot just you miss, he's going to nom on you because he wants your brains.
Great. Okay. All right, cool. So I'm gonna swing at it.
Okay, so
forward.
Dex and melee.
Yep. Let's see. Where's my dex? Cool melee.
Has she watched The Walking Dead?
I have no idea if Sansa's watched Walking Dead.
I don't know. Probably not.
Save the cheerleader, save the world.
That's heroes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Sad that I know that. 3.
Okay. So you flip your sword around and catch it right across the chest. Go ahead and roll for damage.
What is my damage for that? Plus fire,
So it's going to be sword damage, and then whatever Hellfire adds.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to pull up here. Where is it? Why? Manipulation. Wait, no, that's not it. Sorry, I should have been more prepared. 3. Just as difficulty 6. Okay. Plus 2 damage.
So you're going to have your strength plus what your sword provides.
That's what I'm trying to figure out what my sword provides. So the Hellblade does 2 additional dice of damage. Requires manipulation and occult.
No, that's to activate. So you don't have your sword written down?
Okay. I don't know why I don't. This character sheet is missing a couple of things, but
Okay.
all I have here, I'm sorry guys, I don't mean to hold this up. It says difficulty 6 plus 2 damage. But I don't know what
Yeah, that's your sword. Strength is plus 2 damage. So however many dice you have to strength plus 2, that's your sword.
Okay.
So it's dex to hit and then
3
strength for damage.
Plus
strength for
2.
damage.
Yep.
And then it does additional 2. Okay.
Dex and melee.
Okay. No, I don't reroll that. I don't have a 4 in that. And that's a 1. Let me get rid of that. 3.
Okay. So you hack off
Write that down.
a part of its rib cage. It kind of flies off to the side, doing quite a bit of damage to the zombie as it shambles forward. And you are a very smart little sorcerer, so it is very hungry for your brains.
Great.
Are these Return of the Living Dead zombies that want to eat brains? Do they talk?
No, they don't talk.
Okay, good.
Send more brains.
Yeah, send more cops.
So Sansa, you can't really dodge out of the way from where you're at because it's too packed, but you can attempt to block.
Yeah.
So that would be Dex and Brawl.
Okay. Dex and Brawl.
Don't forget your demon bag stuff.
I have been forgetting that. Okay, so I'm terrible with that. Okay, so that means I get an extra 2 dice, right?
You get 1 die to each of your physical attributes.
Right. So that would have been an extra
1 die to perception, I think, or something like that.
Right. Okay, so 1 more die. Ooh, that's a 10. 4.
Okay.
It's a difficulty 6, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, 4.
So at this point, it's like you end up hitting it with your sword, and as that leans forward to try and like bite onto your shoulder, you kind of throw up an elbow from your previous attack and bump it and nudge it away, keeping it from getting too close. You hear slashing and gunfire at this point from Jesse, who is just going wild. Anything at close range with a shotgun is getting hurt bad. So it's like he's just kind of exploding zombies, past everybody as he's pumping rounds into the crowd, trying to get it cleared up. Doug has probably the wrong weapon to deal with zombies right now. He's got his
you're wasting
rapier.
ammo.
Well, no, he's got a rapier.
Oh.
So he can slash and pierce, but that doesn't do a whole lot to zombies.
Aim for the head.
They're going to keep coming. Oh, he's trying to, and he's even caught one in the head, and it's still coming.
Oh, okay. Well, that's all I've got too is a sword. So.
Yep. Yeah, but yours is more for chopping. His is more for piercing.
Pokey poke.
Pokey poke. All right, next round.
Yep.
So you're doing it again?
Yeah, I'm gonna try to go after the head on this one that's trying to get me.
Go ahead and roll to attack.
So that was Dex and once 2.
2, okay. That is enough.
Oh,
again,
cool.
it's not like they can really dodge. So
right.
you end up catching him again. Go ahead and roll damage.
Okay. Ooh, that's pretty. 4.
Okay. 4. Boom. So at that point, you kind of explode him at this point as he just shatters into material components from your sword. Parts of what remain of his clothing are kind of on fire, a little bit on the ground. Not in danger of catching anything else, but just kind of smoldering and whatnot from the slash.
Mm-hmm.
As you guys manage to finish off, for the most part, the rest of this group, and now you end up hearing some sounds coming from inside what is probably the temple at this point.
Oh boy!
As a collective groan kind of goes in and out in a throbbing sound, almost as if it's some sort of supernatural alarm.
Okay. I'm gonna look around this little nook spot. Is there possibly anything I can examine to see if there's a hidden exit or something?
So you're going to go back to the nook? Yeah, go ahead. Give me.
Well, I mean, I thought we were already in that spot.
No.
honest,
You guys have turned around and went back the way you
tried
came
to go
down
back.
and tried to and got basically cornered by these zombies.
I'm gonna, if I can take like 10 seconds to rush back to see. I don't know how long it'll take, but
Yeah, you can run back.
It's worth an effort to try to see if there's an exit.
Sure, go right ahead. Give me
okay.
a perception and investigation check. Hello, Table of Horrors. Thank you very much for the raid. Yay! A raid of 16. And watch George do his funky
2.
parrot routine.
Yeah.
Parrot.
2.
2? Okay. So
Yeah.
you basically feel around each of the slabs that are built into the wall down here, and you're not picking up any sense that and you're pretty certain that there's no sense
Okay, that's fine.
of like a secret entrance or anything. You fairly certain you could open a couple of them, but that probably isn't going to help.
Okay. Yeah. Then I'll go rush back. No exit back there. I guess we try to go away from them, but not in that same spot. I mean.
Yeah. So you go back down into the open room. There you can go at this point east, or you can go south, and further down the tunnels from where you guys came. You can hear somebody at that access door pounding against it, trying to break through.
Okay, so not that direction, clearly.
Well, that was back the way you came, past the crypts, the first 9 set of crypts.
Right, we're not going back that's
Right.
what I mean. We're not going back that way, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to go towards where the big groan happened. I don't know which direction.
Well, the groan kind of echoed throughout the whole chamber, so it's hard to say where exactly that was.
Okay. Then I don't know. We'll go south.
Okay. I mean, they're kind of following your lead, so end up going south. So
you guys are gonna die. Sorry.
the tunnel ends up going. Well, I should say tunnel. The corridor ends up going a little ways, maybe about 20 some odd feet, and then it turns, again. Still going roughly the same direction, but it just the way it kind of turns to a large steel double door.
Oh boy.
Got some rust on it. It's got etchings all over it that appear occultic in nature. Do you have any vampire lore?
I have kindred lore,
Go ahead and give me a check.
intelligence, and
Intelligence and
Kindred?
your vampire kindred lore.
I have. It says kindred or kindred.
lore. Sure. Difficulty 7.
7. Okay. Then 2.
Okay.
Don't forget about your necklace
Actually,
too.
well, why does mine? Oh, well, that's perception though. That doesn't. Oh wait, but that does count for the demon bag. I forget. Wait, that's a physical attribute, not.
No. No, because it adds your perception too.
It adds my. I'm confused. I'm confused at what I roll now.
So, do you have the rules for your 6 demon bag pulled up?
Let me pull it up here. Okay. Where is it? 60 bad. Plus 3 to physicals. 1 to perception for 1 scene.
Yep. So, if you're rolling anything for perception, you're up 1 die.
Okay. Well, then let me roll an extra. I did have a 10. 1. So that was. Let me get rid of that. 1, 2, 3. 3.
Okay. Looking over what you see there, you don't know exactly how they're all broken down, of course, but this appears to be maybe clan symbols to some of the they're altered, so you don't readily recognize them.
Mm-hmm.
But Colin, points to it too, and he says, "Yeah, some of these are symbols to vampires. But they're probably Sabbat because they don't look exactly like the ones I'm used to."
Okay. Should we go through the doors? I don't think that's probably a good idea. Do you think? Does my necklace heat up at all right now?
Let's see.
Still?
No, it does not as of yet.
No, it's within 50 feet. Okay. Does the door look like it's locked or
No.
warded?
No. Just requires you to push it.
Okay, I'm going to push it.
Push it. So you
All right, I'm going to push it.
You push it as they grind and kind of swing.
They already know where we're at.
This is a very large room that looks like the inside of probably a mausoleum. Marble floors and walls on the inside here. There are hanging sconces from or not hanging sconces, but hanging. I forget what they're called, but the hanging fixtures from chains that you'd put like oil and light it, in there and let it, illuminate. There is,
lamp?
huh?
Like a lamp?
So like a chandelier.
No. More. Well, I'll look it up for visual later, but it's not like a lamp because that would have like glass to it. These are just kind of like pans with a little bit of a curvature to hold something in there, or perhaps hold pieces of charcoal or whatnot, and allow some illumination to open flame to illuminate to come out of it. There's 6 of those in here. There is a dais at one end of the room, and it has like 3 steps that kind of come up. Again, it's all made of this very, very colorful marble. There are bloodstains on it, however. And the dais has an altar that, despite the fact that they have done a good job of keeping most everything in here clean, relatively, the altar looks horrible.
Okay. Does there appear to be anybody on it?
No, but it does have recent signs of gore.
Oof. Okay. I'm gonna just do a quick. I don't know if I can see. Is there anything that looks like there's an exit?
There are many doors that lead out of here.
Oh, that's too many to pick from. So I'm just basically gonna look back at Colin like this is a mausoleum. There's too many doors.
He's like, again, you've got me. We're on the run, so we have to make a a decision and like fast.
I feel like I'm being pushed into a certain direction. Okay, I don't want to go through the mausoleum. Is this the only
These
thing
are all
here?
your choices, not mine. as an ST, I'm not
being
forcing you to do
chased.
anything. Yeah, you're definitely being chased.
Is it
Okay,
Brazier?
well,
Is
I
that
don't
the
want to
word
go
you're
through a
thinking?
mausoleum, so go a
back
different direction.
Back the way you came.
I guess.
Okay. So back, kind of twist and turn back up into that that room that you guys were just in. The other direction to go at this point would be east, if you don't want to go the way you came. The door pounding is getting louder, as if it sounds like the door is possibly not going to hold very much longer.
Okay.
Oops.
Okay, I guess we're still going east. I'm trying not to go in a circle.
Right. So so as soon as you go east, it looks like the hallway that you go down, it opens up into a number of different hallways that kind of spider out, almost labyrinth-like. But you can still see around. It's not like if you were to get to a labyrinth, you would only see like one way. It's clear that if you continued down this hallway, it just kind of opens up into other halls. As soon as you get maybe 30 feet from the room that you were just in, your necklace swarms.
Okay.
And there is a hallway that leads directly to from where you're at, the hallway that leads south or left in this case. You can continue going east, which is forward, or you could go right, north, which there is a double door there.
Okay. I'm gonna tell Colin I feel there's a vampire within 50 feet of us. But I don't know if they're awake or if they're sleeping, and I think it's down that direction. It could be Damaris. I don't know. I don't know if that's a risk we want to take.
Okay, well, we know Damaris is locked up behind something, right?
Yes.
So he's like looking around, and he's like, "Okay, well, there's a door next to us.
Okay.
If nothing else, we can peek in there, and one of us can blast fire if we need to, or something.
Okay. Fine.
If it looks like something's going to jump at us, right?
Okay. Yeah, that's true.
Okay. Why don't you open the door, and I'll get ready to blast just in case. So
okay.
That way we're covered one way or the other.
Okay. I'll do that.
And at this point, Jesse is really on his toes.
Mm-hmm.
Doug is like, kind of takes the other side and has got his sword out. As you push open the double doors, you can see another room of crypts that are in here, but in the very center of this room is a woman with kind of ratty looking hair, clothing all torn, beat up. Looks like her hair probably was dreadlocks at one point in time, tied to a pole in the very middle, and there no noticeable sign of like a stake or anything protruding from the chest, but just kind of frozen in place.
Hmm.
And so,
is that her?
Colin looks in there. He's like, "That's her."
Okay, so we know where she's at. It's not warded.
What, are we leaving her?
How are we going to get her outside? It's daytime.
We'll figure that out as we go. At this point,
fuck.
If we leave her here, they're going to move her.
That's true. Okay.
And then you hear Doug's voice change, and you hear, "Guys, nice puppy, cute little pooch. Somebody got
Oh no."
Okay.
And you hear this roar as it like lunges out, and you hear Doug scream, and he starts like slashing, and Jesse goes over that direction. At this point, Colin stiff arms Sansa into the crypt, and just says, "Deal with this," and turns around, and again more shotgun blasts, and you hear like all kinds of thrashing around.
Okay. So she just kind of stumbles into the room and just kind of runs towards where Damaris is. And is she tied up? Is she what's going on?
She is.
With the...
She's tied to the metal pole. It runs the length of the building, so it goes from the ceiling up to the floor or up to the roof.
How tall? How far up?
It goes all the way up to the roof. The roof in here, ceiling wise, maybe 10 feet.
Well, I mean, how far up is she from the ground?
A foot level, ground level.
Okay. And is she chained up or is she just tied up? The reason I'm asking is because I want to know if I can just either untie her myself or use my conjuration to basically make the pole disappear so she's not tied up to it anymore.
Well, she is definitely chained. So if you want to use you couldn't really use conjuration on the pole, but you could on the chains.
Okay. Well, basically some way to get her off of there. And I don't know. I can't tell if she's staked. She's frozen, so I'm assuming she's staked. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and use my conjuration to the chains.
Go ahead
off
and
of
give
her.
me a roll.
My conjuration.
Difficulty 8 because you're stressed.
Yes, definitely stressed. That's for sure. Sorry, I'm pulling up my.
That's fine because you're just having to do it in a hurry. Is the reason why.
Yeah. Dex and occult. Okay. And +1 for the bag. Remember this time. Dex and occult.
Sim salabim.
Yep. Hopefully I have 4 in occult plus the bag. Difficulty 8, you said?
Yes.
Okay.
I want to make a magic character at some point and just quote all
Yeah.
the old Hollywood.
I got 3.
Spells. 3. Okay.
Yeah.
So
2
you
9s and
quickly
an 8.
you quickly make your gestures and pull out from you, and you see like a little portal from nowhere form around the chains, and in 1 minute they're bound on her, and the next minute, they're like in your hands, and then you fall and hit the ground, and it smashes your hands into the ground for a point of lethal damage. As you quickly realize, holy crap, these are heavy.
Oh, okay. Well, I probably would drop them immediately, but yeah.
Yeah,
okay.
You didn't really have a choice because it like pulled it.
Okay.
So you're able. It smarts. I mean, it really smarts. Like you've got, bleeding coming from under your cuticles at this point, but it was only a point.
That's fine. Bruised. I'm bruised. Ow.
And then she ends up. She's frozen in place. Just kind of leans over and hits the ground.
Yeah, she can take the damage. Okay. So.
And then you see one of the crypts starting to open.
I don't think I'm going to be able to pick her up, but I'm going to try.
Okay.
I'm going to try to fireman it.
Strength check.
Strength. So just straight strength or strength and
Straight
athletics
strength.
or.
Nope. Straight strength. You are up a die, however, because of the 16
That's
in bag.
true. That is true.
Thank Egg Chen.
I have a reroll.
You do. You have a reroll.
1, but I'm going to use one of my rerolls because I have 2.
Okay.
Because I want better than 1. Okay, that's better. 3.
Okay, so at this point, you've got the adrenaline dump, in your body. You've already seen what's in these crypts. That's enough for you to say, okay, I need to pull out all the stops.
Deuces.
I will. If I make it out of here, I'll dose up on pain meds and lotion or whatnot later. But you grab her real quick, throw her up over your shoulder, your knees immediately feel it. Given your age, you're just like,
Mhm.
oh.
And
But
I'm one-handing the sword at this point,
Yeah.
so yeah.
So you turn and you kind of got her on there, and as you see something pull themselves out of that crypt, and what you end up seeing doesn't appear to be a zombie. You end up seeing some guy who's in like a Letterman jacket.
Oh no.
And
no.
Oh no!
This is
It's the
Bastion,
Black
isn't it?
Hand.
and he's like looking up, and he's like, oh, what is with this? And he looks and he sees you, and then he like slams really hard on the crypts at this point, and you can hear several of them starting to jostle as you make your way to the door.
Okay.
Run!
Yeah.
I'm
Oh my god.
running.
Get out of there!
Drag her if you have to.
Right.
I've got her fireman style over my
yeah.
shoulder, and I'm running on pure adrenaline at this point.
So at this point, as you kick open the door, because they both swing both ways. The one door kind of flies all the way open. The other door ends up hitting Jesse and this. For lack of a better term, it does look very much like a demon dog, like a dog that a vampire has taken time to form and mold and give some horns and extra barbs and bulky muscles. Like it looked like it probably could have jumped off the 80s set of Ghostbusters, and the fangs and everything. It's gruesome look. And the other door kind of hits the both of them as he buckles and he's trying to keep it under control. And at this point, Doug was about ready to stab it, and he turns around and he looks, and you can see the other guys coming. That the door had been impeding them no longer, as they are bolting through the crypt, the first crypt that you crossed. So they are within sight, but they are out of range for the most part. At this point, Colin could see as you're running out. He looks in there and he's like, "Oh crap!" And so instead of playing around, he he ends up kicking the dog as hard as he can. You hear like rib cage like crack, and it buckles to the ground, and he turns to you guys real quick and throws the door back in place. And as the others are coming, he turns and he looks to the three of you, Sansa, Doug, and Jesse, and he says, if we get separated, Sansa, I need you to text this number and say hub.
Text hub.
Yep. And then he says, he says, make your way to Whole Foods Market and ask for the supervisor Nolan.
Who's telling her this? Sorry.
Colin.
Okay.
And at this point, he turns. Jesse takes the body off of you because he can tell you're about ready to collapse. And it's nothing to him. He's like, and holding his shotgun, in the other hand, and he says, "Just go. I'll try to hold them off."
Okay, go. Am I able? Okay, I don't know. Well, I was gonna. I don't think we have time for me to cast my shitstorm.
Which that's an actual spell, folks.
Yes.
Awesome.
I was trying to find it. I can't remember the mechanics of it. I know I have it. It's part of my Hellfire, I think.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't have the stats for it right offhand. Where is it?
So
I don't think I have time for that.
If you, which is fine. If you are running, then you're going to continue to go east.
Yeah. Yeah. Basically, I'm trying to look for an exit. Well, shit. I have her with me. How can I cover her? Like,
Grab a
shit.
drapery or something from the.
Yeah, if I can find if there's a drape along something, I'm gonna try to wrap her up in it or try to drape it over her if we end up finding an exit
Okay,
somewhere.
sure. Okay, so you're going east, and again, it's like it basically just splits off. Like it's almost as if maybe this particular section may have been with the idea behind it may have been that they were going to build out more because there's a lot of I don't want to say it's wasted space, but it's not exactly a labyrinth either. It's almost like if you go the one direction, you can see on either side like there's several open hallways that go down. On one side, as you look down to the south, you can see there's a door like at each end of the hallway or of that particular hallway.
Okay.
East continues to go. There's of course for each corresponding hallway that goes south, there's another one that goes north. But if you keep going east, it comes to a stop where you can only go north or south. But if you go north, because you can actually see this, it looks like it continues on to go east.
Okay. I guess if I'm going down these tunnels, I'm kind of looking for signs that it's an access tunnel, similar,
Okay, you're trying to look for any signs that
like
civic
it
service
hasn't
may
been
have left.
modified. Yeah,
Sure.
it hasn't been modified by whatever they have done down here.
Good idea. Okay, go ahead and give me a wits and alertness check at this point.
What's
And I'll tell you what, Dale, why don't you roll for Doug?
Okay.
Doug has 6 dice there, and Abby, why don't you roll for Jesse? Jesse has 5 dice.
Abby, don't let
Difficulty
it.
what?
Difficulty 7.
7?
Abby.
Okay. I got 2.
Don't let anything bad happen to Jesse. He's the purest of us all.
one success for Doug.
Okay.
We can always get another Doug. We can't get another Jesse.
Ooh.
Ooh,
And you
ouch.
say that when Sophie's not around.
Yeah,
Smart.
exactly. That's why he's saying it.
Yeah.
Oh, you're muted, Abby.
What was the difficulty level?
7.
3 successes.
Oh, nice. What'd you get, Sansa?
Oh, I got 3.
Okay. So as you guys are looking around, Jesse ends up spotting something that ends up pointing south from where you guys are, because you guys are at the very east right now. You haven't continued going further. Going further. You're at that kind of intersection, and he points out something that shows that it's going south. And Jesse points out it looks like some of those markings we passed in the hallway before. And then you end up spotting what appears to be a very rusted sign on the wall. Remember how I said it kind of went off around a corner? Like at that very corner, there's a very rusted metal sign still hanging.
Okay, and that's a good sign. That's a good sign. So I kind of point down that direction, like I see some of those markings, like you gotta see these to get to here. So maybe if we go that way, there's a way out. And it looks like there's a sign there too that's a bit rusted. Maybe that's a normal exit.
Okay, so you go that way?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm
so,
speaking an accent, but Rachel can't do it right now. Rachel's tired.
That is fine. So you go up and around, and when you get a closer look at that sign, the metal sign, it does look like it's another one of those civic signs, but it's so rusted it's hard to tell what it says. It's very corroded and nasty. You end up seeing a big flash of light from further down the hall where you guys just came, as Colin let forth like a massive gout of fire, just down the hall. You're very familiar with that because you can kind of do similar.
Yeah.
And as it ends up opening up into kind of another, but much larger hallway that goes either north or south.
Okay. Again, I'm looking more towards signs that maybe those signs that were on the wall, the graffiti, or basically similar access or rusted signs potentially
Okay.
for doors.
Go ahead and I'll have all three of you go ahead and roll again. Same difficulty as 7.
Okay.
Don't forget that you guys have the demon bag stuff.
Right. Yep.
George, why don't you give me a roll of 8 dice, but it's going to be at a difficulty 7.
I got 1.
4 successes.
Okay.
1 success.
Uno. Sansa.
1.
One.
1.
Another Uno. All right. Let's see what George gets here.
I rolled 4 2s.
Nice.
4 of a kind.
Yeah. Great for Yahtzee. Not
Huh.
great for this.
At least they're not ones.
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't. Is George rolling?
Yeah.
I don't think he knows if he's rolling it. Does he?
George, did you roll?
I have to think restart because I can't see or hear Jerome.
Oh.
Oh,
Oh,
gotcha.
okay.
Yeah, I was trying to pull up the link again so I can kind of re-enter the room. I'll be right back.
Okay. Fine.
Yeah, I hear and see everybody else, but just not him. So I'll be right back.
Okay.
Haley's all, not Yahtzee, Dahlia.
I see everybody now. What am I
Okay,
rolling?
good. Let me go ahead and get George added to the browser again, or the layout real quick. I know everybody can hear him.
Can you guys hear me?
Doink.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
So did you hear what I asked you?
I didn't hear anything. Once you started talking about the sign, you dropped off from my thing, and I was like waiting for you to return.
Gotcha. So because it looks like you have kind of a meh signal right now again. Bummer.
I'm plugged in.
Go ahead and roll. Give me a roll of 8 dice at difficulty 7.
Okay. This is 8 dice. Yeah. All right. Okay. Do 10s count as double, or is it 1 success or 2 successes with 10s?
Yes, it's double with 10s.
Okay. In that case, I got 2, 4, 7, 8 successes.
Ooh.
Wow.
Whoa.
Woohoo.
I hope that was for the good
Holy
day.
mackerel.
I rolled 2 10s.
Oh man, I think
yeah.
that's bad for us.
Oh, is it? I had no idea what the
It might
context
be.
was.
I don't know.
Oh,
No.
Because
dear.
Jerome said ow, and so
yeah,
How could
owie.
I hope
Okay,
that
so
was the phone.
I hope that was the enemies.
Yeah,
Jerome,
Colin's fireball.
If you just had me kill Jesse,
Sansa, just as you guys make that revelation of
no.
where you're going to go, you guys hear the sound of a gunshot, and
No.
Let's see. Okay, I'll let you call it. Give me odd or even, Sansa.
Even.
why did you let me roll, Jerome? That's not fair.
Should have had
Okay.
me roll.
Yeah.
That's why he didn't have you roll.
No.
All right.
This is the M. Night Shyamalan twist.
What a twist.
Plot twist.
It is. I need to pull up a character sheet real quick. Hold on 1 second.
Oh
Just so you know, Colin has a different character. for his abs.
Colin just lost 4 of his abs.
no. Dang it.
Oddly enough, if you save one of the abs, you can grow a new colon from it.
He's like a starfish, but with
Yeah.
mouth.
That's
I don't know. That could be interesting. Take both of them home.
Where the heck is it at? Oh, right here. Why would it be right? No, that's super old.
Why am I getting ads? Oh,
Uh,
'cause I need to-
Damaris, I don't have your. I don't have an updated sheet here
Oh, let me send it to
Because-
you because I'm looking at it right now.
because the most recent one I have is from 2021.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. Let me save. Oops. I thought I sent it to you. Okay. 1 second. I'm sending it to you in Discord. Is that okay?
I'd
Or
ask
do you
her
want-
you send it to me on Facebook
Oh, okay. 1 second. Let me move over.
because
here.
I'll have to pull Discord up. And
Attach a
yeah,
file.
I'm looking, and I am not.
That's really
seeing
weird.
it.
I thought I sent it to you and maybe. Oh, hold on. Let me find it.
Hold, please.
This has been a pretty intense game, and we aren't even playing most of it.
I know. I'm sorry, guys.
No, I mean,
Well,
I'm
Don't be
not.
sorry.
Totally
Uh,
went
It's very
Just
entertaining. No.
upside down.
I'm having a good time.
Oh, did
Yeah.
you shoot Damaris?
I mean, if you're looking for
Uh,
her sheet, then
Yeah, that's a pretty good indication that something happened to Damaris. I mean, just saying.
No.
George, you killed Damaris.
No. She worked so hard to get her stuff. Ugh.
I didn't know. I thought I was rolling for Colin growing
know.
more abs. I thought he was going to get 8 more
This
abs.
is why the Leonin is no longer a matriarch. It's because we all get killed.
Okay, so let's see.
She's already probably pretty
Actually,
bad.
what I should do just for that, I should have Brittany roll for her soak.
Ugh.
No, I'm kidding. I wouldn't do that.
that's just cruel.
Unless you would like me to, Rachel,
Can
What?
you feel the love
Roller
tonight?
soak?
have Brittany.
She's
roll
only
your
got
soak.
2 fortitude.
Okay, so
No, go ahead, Brittany.
Okay, so Brittany, you need to roll stamina plus fortitude. So that's going to be a total of 7 dice. Or no, 6 dice. It's always difficulty 6.
You
And
can do it.
before you roll, if you have any free re-rolls, you can use it if you bought your get a
I
Can
don't
I
have
give?
it right
Can
now.
I give
I'm
her my
going
last reroll?
no you can
Yeah,
to redeem one for myself right now.
okay.
Thank you.
That is going to be the last time anybody can redeem points for themselves.
Right.
I warned it in one of the other games that was going to
No,
happen.
I was
And then
going
you put
to,
at
but
Brittany.
It's
Really?
for-
As if I don't know
somebody-
you're Illistar 3 in there.
I was going to give her one, but she.
She
did
beat
it.
you to it. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
It's not actually for me. It's for Damaris.
all,
She's in the chat.
Technicality.
Redeems points for herself and then says it's for me, but says her name Brittany.
if you
Okay,
do it,
So 10s do not explode,
Tens
right?
do not explode, no.
Okay, so in this case, we have 2 successes.
Okay.
Should I re-roll?
I'll leave that up to you guys.
Reroll.
I think you
Should I
should.
re-roll?
I think you should.
I will use the re-roll.
Okay.
if here's the thing though, if you decide to give yourself another reroll, it's double jeopardy. He can't get mad at you again.
Ooh. Haley just
on.
gave me a reroll.
Oh,
Oh, Haley!
Haley!
Once again, I have 2 successes.
oh man.
Oh, okay.
2 successes. Okay.
The dice
So,
have decided.
Just to let you know, I'm about to roll. With firearm rules,
Oh no.
Any roll that goes above your dodge adds to the damage on a die roll goes to the damage pool. George rolled 8.
Yeah.
Damaris obviously cannot dodge, so that is 8 additional dice I have to roll for a gunshot.
Don't you put this on me?
It's all you, George. It's all you.
Nuh-uh.
I blame Jerome.
Yeah.
Well, I think Damaris died.
My mom does too.
Well, I mean, I still have to roll. It's a lot of dice. But you
She's
still got
prone.
2 soaks too.
She's gonna get hit. She's gonna die.
That would be a really sad turn of events.
Here.
Mm-hmm.
Rachel's praying to the RP gods.
Maybe in another plot twist, Doug uses celerity and plays the meat shield.
Right.
Wow.
Colin leaps up and catches the bullet between his abs.
Here we go again. The abs.
I'm just trying to bring levity. That's all I can
Never
do.
not funny.
Okay.
This is such a cluster.
So, as Jesse turns at this point and is starting to move, and you guys are moving in the northward direction, you heard the gunfire. A gunshot rang out like a bell, as the rhyme would say, from somewhere in the south, which would be, you're not too sure where, but it's further down the hallway. Looks like there was, now that you see the gunshot, looks like there was somebody down there. It looks like the round was actually aimed for Sansa, or the shot, given the positioning, but Jesse basically turned into it, and it ends up hitting Damaris square on. Sansa, as you turn around real quick, kind of instinctively, because the gunfire, for most people, makes everybody really edgy. You kind of twist a little bit on your heel, and you end up getting hit by an arm that is like quickly turning skeletal as it flies past you.
Shot her arm off.
So we need to find another corpse.
Roll your humanity, Brittany. I need Brittany. Roll your humanity.
I want to know what Brittany's humanity stat is.
Probably as low as mine.
It's automatically one lower.
Oh, no.
All right, so
She's gonna have one regular arm and one like beefy Trogdor arm.
Well, we can bring Cyberpunk into it.
so as
Yeah, right.
so Jesse of course freaks out at this point. I mean, he's still got Damaris up on his shoulder, and he's like looking around, and you can see that there clearly somebody from back the way with a high-powered rifle took a shot, and at that point Doug blurs. You see Doug go, and he flies off like in that direction.
Can I see the rifle? That shot?
Yeah.
Cool. I'm gonna take it from him.
You're gonna conjuration it.
I'm gonna take it from him.
Okay, go ahead and roll.
Nice.
You're like, that's
Shoot
mine.
my character's arm off. Let me shoot you.
I did literally. I'm gonna shoot him back.
Yeah.
You
That-
kill
that could
me,
be
I will kill
Damaris'
you
new
back.
Keep in
arm.
mind, Doug may be in the way if you do.
I don't know where he is. He's blurred. Remember?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. So all right. So conjuration. Let me pull it up. I believe that's manipulation, occult. Yep. And occult 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9. Oh, and I forgot the demon.
Demon baby.
Yep. What's the difficulty? 6 standard.
Yes. Mhm.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay, so you make your gestures real quick. Make like you're reaching into to a top hat to pull out a bunny, and all of a sudden,
it's possible,
hey, I've got a rifle.
If it's possible, I don't know if I can control the way this conjures back into me, but basically I would let go of the sword, basically just, and I want to be able to conjure it to where I'm already holding it back, aiming back at him.
So
Does that make sense?
You basically draw back like you kind of already hold it, or you're kind of already holding.
Basically, like.
I'll tell you what.
There we go.
Give me a dex and firearms check.
Okay.
I'll definitely allow it if you can give me.
I have 1 firearms.
Ooh.
But I have a 4 dex.
You have a 4 dex, and you have 6 demon bag.
I do.
Oh yeah.
That's a 10. All right, so 2.
And Rachel
3,
just got another re-roll.
4.
Thank you, Brittany. 4. Okay.
4.
Yeah. So you do that. So you're like you just kind of let go, and cinematically the fire blade is just slowly falling like at your side, and as you're pulling back like you were about ready to fire, it materializes in your hand, and like in that instance you see the guy like it vanish from his, and he's just like, oh no.
Can I yell to Doug to duck? Duck.
Not
No?
in this. No,
Okay.
Because he's blurring. He's so
That's
fast.
fine. I don't know. I don't know any better. So I'm gonna
go
fire.
ahead and roll. Dex,
what am I rolling for that?
Dex and firearms.
Dex and firearms again. Okay.
It's difficulty 7 because of the type of rifle it is.
Okay. I'm debating if I want to burn a willpower or not.
Given your 1 firearms,
Yeah.
I would highly suggest it.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes, I will. It's okay. I've still got 4 more willpower. I'm good.
There you go.
Yeah, a new reroll.
That's true. Oh, I actually got
Yeah,
the
that too.
bag. Ooh. Okay. That's 3 9s. So I'll take that.
Ooh. Nice. Okay. So you fire. Right around the time Doug blurs up there.
Oh man, I'm sorry, Doug. Hopefully, he gets there before him.
So, the way this guy, he looked kind of pale, and the way he's dressed would probably indicate that he was a young adult posing as a teen for some TV show or a movie or whatnot. You know how they normally get like 20-somethings, almost 30-somethings, but they look younger so that they can somehow pass for somebody in high school.
Zac Efron.
W.
Kind of like that, yeah. He looks like a CW actor. And right as you shoot him, the round ends up connecting with him, and Doug ends up piercing him with his rapier, like right at the same time. The guy gets thrown back up against the wall, and like corpseifies immediately. And even Doug is like, "What? It's like looking around, like he absolutely did not expect that to happen.
Cool. I got me a rifle now. So, I basically. Is there anything else that's there?
No, not down that hall. No.
Okay, so let's get out of here. Where's Colin?
You can still hear fighting back down the hallway from where you guys came.
Okay, I yell, Colin, let's go. I don't know if he can hear me or not.
So as you go up around the at this, or so are you going back south, or are you going to go further north?
Well, he was the guy that I took the gun from was south, right? That's where Doug was, or
Yes,
is
he
that where
was.
Colin is?
That's where Doug.
And that-
That's where Doug went, where you shot the round.
So which way is Colin? I guess I'm directionally challenged.
Colin is to the east, or sorry, to the west at this point. Or
Okay.
sorry, you guys have been traveling east, so yeah, he'd be to the west.
So I guess I'm still gonna
He's
I
down the
guess I'm
hallway.
still looking.
He's down the hallway where you guys came from, trying to hold them off.
Okay. So I mean I'm trying to get away from that. So what I don't know what
So if you're
direction
trying to
would
get
that
away
be?
from everything, then you're going to want to go north.
Um, Okay, then I'll go north. I'm trying to still follow the fact that, the more either the symbols
Mhm.
or again the signs or whatever that make it more less
Sure.
messed with.
Yep. Okay. So you end up, racing towards the north, and it looks like it just comes to an abrupt stop at this hallway. But it goes, it'll go left again, so you can continue going east.
Okay.
But down that
And
hallway, you see stairs that kind of wind upward.
okay, that's a good sign. I hope it's a good sign. I don't know. I don't know what to do. I don't know if Colin and Doug are like, is Doug back with us or did he come back or
Yeah, Doug's back.
okay. Well, I'm gonna yell out to Colin. We're going east. I mean, I don't know, like if he's gonna come or not.
Sure. I mean, just all you can really do is shout it out. I mean, at this point.
Okay. Can I like mark the wall or something? I don't know. I just don't want him to lose his way
Sure.
either.
You're going to take a moment to mark the wall with what? Makeup?
Yeah, she's gonna pull out. She's got a side satchel or whatever. She's gonna pull out like she's probably has a Sharpie with her or something.
Sure.
So she's gonna pull out a Sharpie and just like point this way,
Right on.
like
Joe
an
will
arrow
start
real quick.
again.
And just hope that he sees it.
Okay.
And
So the
and go.
other two are just waiting on you at this point, like anxiously,
I'm going.
Okay.
Yeah.
So as you make your way, kind of spiraling up the stone stairway, yes, Sansa was here. WUZ. You make your way up towards the top, and you can actually hear the sounds of the street nearby.
Oh, that's good. I hear the street, I think. Okay, I'm gonna kind of keep going up. I'm gonna look down towards Jesse. He's carrying
Yeah.
Damaris, right?
Mhm.
Does she look like she's still like what does she look like right now?
She's in 3/4.
3/4, a part of her is missing?
Yeah,
What part is missing?
the arm.
Her arm that was shot
Okay.
off.
Okay. I'm gonna look at my phone. What time of day is it?
Right about now, you are looking probably about 1:00.
Fuck, right in the middle of the afternoon. Okay. I have no idea where we're gonna be let out either. Okay, I'm gonna keep going to see if I can hear if there's a door somewhere where the sounds of the street are.
There are, and you see another one of those wards.
Okay. I'm gonna look to Jesse and Doug and tell them this is a ward. I got to undo it.
And you're like,
Could take a minute.
Okay,
I'm gonna try to work fast.
hurry.
So I'm gonna work fast.
See if they can find something to cover Damaris with.
Oh, I already got a drape or whatever, some sort
You
of
did already?
to cover her.
Actually, you
When we got
guys don't have anything like that as of this point.
I literally okay.
That was the game plan, but you haven't passed anything that fit that description yet.
What is she wearing? It's all tattered and stuff.
Yeah, just
Okay.
tattered remains of her clothing.
Anybody wearing a sweet trench coat?
No, but she's wearing a baggy shirt with a tank underneath. So she's gonna take it off and put it over like Damaris's head and like upper body
Sure. Okay.
to try and cover as much of exposed skin as possible.
Okay.
Also, I'm debating on if I want to give her a pint of blood to sort of stabilize her. You know what I mean? I don't want to do that.
Well, a pint would be quite a bit.
Not a pint, sorry, a point of blood. Point of blood. Like just
She's
like,
like, I'm going to give my life to save you.
Yeah.
just to help her. But oh man, sorry guys, I'm trying to decide. This sucks.
Would Sansa do that?
She looks rough. She's trying to figure out a way to save her because there's a good chance that we're going to be in direct sun in daylight.
Would Sansa know enough about vampires to think ahead like that?
I don't know. Can I roll an intelligence check with kindred lore?
If you have kindred lore, then yeah.
Okay. Like I can roll, or that I would know that.
No, you would know that.
Okay.
Oh.
You know, sunlight bad.
That's a good point, though. Yeah.
There may be something just beyond the warded door that you could use to cover her up.
That's
that
true,
door needs to be
because-
undone.
Yeah, I mean, as you're struggling with this right now and trying to figure out what to do, I mean, you can hear that fighting
Okay.
intensifying down there.
Okay. I'm just going to undo the ward. I'll just focus on that.
Okay, so go ahead.
I still
and roll.
took the shirt off and put it on her, but
Yes,
yeah.
that's fine.
Okay. So this is what? Yeah, the enigmas and intelligence again, right?
Yes, and you're gonna it's a difficulty 8 because you are under duress.
Man.
Dun,
I'll go ahead and burn one more willpower for this.
Okay.
I have to, man.
Yeah.
This shit's hard. This stuff's
Yeah.
hard.
Absolutely.
Difficulty 8.
Yes.
Man, 3 7s, all wasted. Then I got 3 with the auto.
Okay. So you're doing this and as accurately as possible. Under the stress of the situation. As you are almost done with it, you see something else lunge out like a snake-looking thing. I mean, it's another dog, but it has like a snake head. Lunge out at Doug and strike him like in the arm, and so he just, because it's latched onto his arm, he's like just turning his rapier kind of into a shiv and just trying to repeatedly like stab it, at blurring speeds. As it buckles, Jesse kicks it to try and get it away, and as you break the ward, which it was another one of those wards that you saw, the doors are open. It's another like steel door, but you can open it up obviously.
Okay. Does it lead into like another hallway like the other one did when we got in, or?
You open it up and no, it does not.
Yeah. When it. Well, I'm going to be carefully opening it up so that not so direct sun isn't coming in.
Yeah, when you open it up, it's actually in a maintenance room.
Oh, good. Okay.
So there's some old equipment down here. It looks like it's not really in use, but maybe it was for monitoring, the power or water or something to this area. I mean, you don't have like an engineering degree, so it's hard to say what it's for.
That's fine. So maintenance room. Is there an exit to this room?
Yep. There's only one way in, one way out.
Wait, I'm confused. So it's just a room that we're in now?
Mm-hmm.
There's no exit to this room other than the one that we came through.
No, well, that's what I'm saying. There's only one way in, one way out. So where you guys came through is only one other door.
So there is another door
on the
in
other.
that room that
Okay.
At
you could
the end of the
Okay.
room.
As we go through, I'm gonna look. Is there anything I can use to cover Damaris up with?
Not in here, no. There's some remains of chair in here that are kind of broken up.
No, nothing like that.
Like wheelchairs and whatnot. There's some old machinery, but none of that would really
Nothing
help.
fabric like
No,
bags, whatever.
no, nothing like that.
Okay. What about trash bags?
You don't see anything like that here.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm gonna look at the door. Like, is Colin making his way up? Like, I'm gonna look.
Not as far as you can tell.
Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and text the number that he gave me
Okay.
because we are getting separated at this point.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll text that number and then So then I'm gonna go ahead and make my way to the other side of the maintenance room where the door is.
Sure. So you get. So you end up getting. So Jesse is behind you at this point, and as you turn the latch and open the door. It is daylight outside, not super bright because it looks like where you're opening the door is a maintenance room that was at the back of an alleyway.
So
Basically, it was like built in between two existing buildings.
okay. So is there any sort of shade that would connect the buildings that we could possibly travel under in?
It would be pushing it. However, there is a dumpster there's a dumpster out here that you may be able to
Dump Damaris in and push her in?
Well,
Grab something out of.
You could dump her into, or you could hobo it and maybe pull apart some existing trash bags that have been thrown into it.
That dumpster would be heavy to move. Oh no, I can conjure it. That I can just conjure it the other direction, like in a place.
You could.
Do I know where our car is? Like where we drove up? Like where do we leave it?
Not from here, no. You're uncertain.
Okay.
Doug,
yeah, sure, 'cause I don't know any place.
Doug seems to think it's like over there, someplace. Like he points like a direction, but even he isn't completely sure where it's at compared to here.
So okay, so what I can do is it looks like there's a dumpster. We can dump Damaris in the dumpster, close it up so she's not exposed, and I can conjure and move the whole dumpster to like I don't know, a different location, perhaps in another shady area that I know of that's within half a mile from here.
Okay, so should somebody stay with her?
Probably. Okay. So when we got separated from Colin, he wants us to go to the Whole Foods market. Did he tell me which Whole Foods market it was?
Yeah.
Is that anywhere near here?
Well, I mean, you would have to pull it up on your phone.
Okay. Well, I don't know how much. Excuse me. If I have a moment to pull it up on my phone, I'll do that.
So then, just to reiterate, so you're going to make a run back for your cars?
Well, I don't know how we're going to get out of here. I want to be able to hide. I don't know.
Well, if that's the case, then what you should do is wait by the dumpster yourself and send Jesse and Doug to go get the vehicles.
That's true. I can get in there too, climb in with her, and I can like set us somewhere out of range of this, and then tell them where to get us. Okay, let's do that. Let me get in here with Damaris, and I'll tell him cross streets that I know of what's in the area, because I feel like I would have looked up the area so I knew where I was going first.
Okay,
when we got here.
For the dumpster?
Yeah, because if I'm going to move us in the dumpster, I want to move it away from this access point.
Okay.
Into a different spot, but I want to take us with it. Is that even possible?
You wouldn't be able to go with it, not like that. But you could send it someplace with her. I mean, you could still definitely do that.
And I can just...
And then have somebody come and get you in a car.
There's so many different ways that this could go. I just don't want the dumpster to be near this access point.
Right. Understood.
Just period. So, okay. So what I'm going to do, or what I have them do, is I'm going to have them put her in the dumpster. We're going to close it up. Okay. I'm going to send the dumpster to a point that I can see.
Okay.
Within...
So another alleyway nearby.
Yeah, maybe another alleyway.
Sure.
And I tell them, go get the car. And I'm going to shut the doors, I guess, to...
Okay. So go ahead and roll for the dumpster.
What am I rolling for that? Like... Oh, you mean for the conjuration. Sorry. Yep. Brain fart.
Yes.
Roll to close the dumpster.
The dumpster dive ritual.
What level is that? 4?
It's going to be about a level 4 for most sane people, but if you're a hobo, it's only level 1.
Is it a path? Is it a path though?
Well, I've got. Do I have any fours in any of those? I do occult. So that would be 1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay. So you sim salabim it again, and you send the dumpster with a bit of a strain because that's big.
It's heavy.
You end up
Yeah.
sending it to like a couple buildings over.
Like in a shady spot, hopefully.
Yep. Mhm.
Okay. Cool. So I'm just kind of waiting possibly for Colin. Basically outside the door in the alleyway.
Okay.
And waiting for Jesse and Doug.
So you're just waiting and waiting.
I'm gonna like hide somewhere, like so I'm not obvious outside because I look a little weird as an old lady.
Okay. So what are you just gonna walk out from the alleyway and stand in front of the building or something?
No, I don't want to. I guess I'm just trying to make it so I'm not so obvious, I guess. But I guess I don't want to stand in front of the building.
Because you're a regular human, and like it's just the daytime.
That's true. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna walk out of the alleyway just casually and walk up the street.
Okay. So as you get out and start walking casually up the street,
Hopefully.
The first the alleyway that you were in, the building you go walking past, says it is Old Town Pizza and Brewing.
Okay. Oh, lost my pen somewhere. Old Town Pizza and Brewing. Got
Yes.
it. Okay. Gonna text, Jesse and Doug, tell them where I'm at.
Okay. So I mean, as you're kind of waiting in front of the restaurant, and some people are there for lunch, as of this point, coming in or out or whatnot, you see the two vehicles come barreling down the street and come to a very loud stop. In midday.
Do I recognize it?
Yeah, it's them. It's the same vehicle.
Okay, I wasn't sure.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna get in casually.
Okay. Sure.
It's my Uber.
Uber Express.
And I tell them, let's go. I mean, we can. I know where Damaris is. Like, we can put her in the trunk and we can book it.
Like, oh, okay.
Otherwise, she's gonna have to stay in that dumpster till nightfall.
Yeah, she'd hate us for that.
Yeah, we need to. We need to go to the Whole Foods market over here.
So we're getting healthy food?
No, we're meeting someone. We need to ask for somebody specific.
All
Colin
right.
instructed that if we got separated, to go to this location, and unfortunately, we got separated. So, yeah. So I tell him where to go. Yeah. I guess we go to the dumpster where it was in that sort of hopefully hidden type space to pull her out and discreetly put her in the trunk.
Okay. I'll tell you what. Shelly, why don't you roll 2d10?
Oh, man. Please don't get fried.
Two 9s.
Okay. So you guys pull Damaris's body as quickly as possible out of the dumpster, and you can see it already like smoking at this point, and quickly throw her into the trunk and shut the lid as quickly as possible. Brittany, why don't you give me 2 rolls of 90-10. Difficulty 7.
9d10.
Yes.
I don't know how I feel about Jerome like outsourcing his death rolls.
Oh, I think he
I
tried to
know.
encourage you guys. Oh man,
I'm just glad it's not me.
that's probably the sun damage that Damaris is taking.
Did you guys have stuff in the car that you could have used, like bags or
Okay.
anything?
Yeah, there would have been blankets and whatever in the trunk, but
Oh, couldn't you have like conjured her into the trunk?
I
Coulda.
could. I was gonna
She could have. Yeah, absolutely.
do that, but
And then 5. So 4 and 5.
Yeah.
And did you want to use one of your re-rolls for either of those rolls?
I don't know what I'm rolling,
I know.
but also I'm out of re-rolls, so
Okay. So then
So I get
it's
stuck.
irrelevant. Okay. So we'll have to see what that means in a bit.
That's Colin.
So you at this point look it up on your Google Maps, and actually Whole Foods Market is not terribly far from here. It's a couple miles, like maybe 2 miles down the road.
okay.
So you go there, beating traffic at this point. Getting into the market, of course, it's actually fairly busy. You've got people coming here for their food and whatnot. And you come to a stop at this point. I mean, you can actually go.
Yeah.
You can leave Damaris in the trunk.
Yeah, I'm gonna ask them to stay with her. I'm gonna go in real quick and ask for this Nolan person that Colin wanted.
Okay.
So I'll do that. I'll go in real quick and I'll go to the service desk or something and ask, hey, can I talk to your supervisor Nolan, please?
Okay. So, and the person at the counter's kind of looks at you funny and says, looks around. Okay. 1 second. And kind of goes walking off, a little confused looking.
I'll wait. Very nervously.
Okay. And as you kind of wait around, you see this kind of a tall looking guy, bald, really kind of rough looking, but in a nice, polo and denim jeans or whatnot. And he kind of looks at you and he says, I'm sorry, who are you?
I'm Sansa. Colin sent me.
Huh. Okay. Follow me.
She'll follow cautiously. There's more of us, but she'll follow.
How many more?
2 plus the one in the trunk.
Okay.
Rescue.
I don't need to know. So then you're probably going to want to have your friends meet us at the service entrance then.
Okay. Will do. So she'll leave and go back to the car. Service entrance. And then direct him to drive.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, they go around back. He takes you into the back of the Whole Foods.
Yeah.
He ends up taking you back to where there was the office, like a supervisor's office. However, along the sides of the door frame itself, you see these little metal links that kind of go up and around.
Interesting. Okay. I mean, follow wherever this Nolan directs us.
Yeah, I mean, so he says, okay, so do you, where's the third? The person that
in the trunk. She's a vampire. She's sticked, I believe, at the moment. She is sticked at the moment, or she has just simply no blood, but she cannot be out in the sun.
Right. Okay. So then he tosses one of you guys, one of the big packaging bags.
Okay. Is it shady over here? Can we realistically move her, or can I conjure her?
You'd have to put her in the bag. Yeah, you'd have to conjure her here into the bag.
I'll conjure her into the bag then.
Okay, go ahead and roll again.
Goodness.
And Brittany is
2.
muted. Brittany, you're muted. 2? Okay.
Yeah.
Do sorcerers have like a limited mana supply or something?
They do. Doesn't mean they can't cast their spells, but yeah.
Yeah.
Mana
And
just
this is
affects their
simple.
rolls.
Yeah.
Kind of like willpower?
Right.
Okay.
So, ba-boom. So you pull Damaris, or what remains of her, into the black Amazon shipping bag.
Mhm.
It hits the ground, with a thump. And the door to the supervisor's office had been open, and you could see in the inside there was a computer and a desk and whatnot. So Nolan ends up closing it, and then he opens it again, and it's like someplace completely different. It looks like it's in a park somewhere.
Okay.
And he says, "After you."
She'll go. Is Jesse still carrying Damaris in the bag, like luggage?
He picked her up at this point. It looks like a really awkward Amazon Prime delivery at this point.
Whatever works.
Okay. And with that, we are going to pause for you guys. The evening rolls around.
Yep. And I'll be right back. I gotta pee.
Okay. So the evening rolls around.
Well done. Good job.
And as everybody starts waking up, you notice that none of your other cohorts that went out during the day are here.
Have they texted us?
Sophie has a text.
What does it say? Who is it from?
You don't recognize the number, and it says Hub.
Is that a code word that we know?
Sophie would, but it has been quite a while.
Lily will check and see if she's heard from her dad.
No.
So she'll text his phone.
Okay. Sophie, why don't you go ahead and give me a wits and investigation check. See if you can rattle that brain of yours.
This is not my strong suit.
Fire bad. All right,
Zero.
0. Okay, yeah, you are confused. You are confuzzled.
So if there's no, can I run a Google search on the number?
Sure.
See if the number comes up as anything. Also, like, what time was it sent?
During the day.
Okay.
We'll say probably sometime around 1-ish.
What would I roll to run a search on the number?
I'm not going to make you roll for that. So the number doesn't come up with anything, but the area code does, and it's for Salem, Oregon.
Salem, huh?
Yes.
I don't know.
Since nobody else is getting anything, Ben is going to text Jesse to see if he gets a response. Like, hey, you out there?
Okay.
I'm putting on Kevlar.
Same.
Okay.
Yeah.
Everybody else is just
same
getting
here.
down to business.
Well, the away team hasn't returned, so
Ben, have you?
That's a bad sign.
Have you gotten anything from the group?
No, yeah, just sent a text to Jesse. How about you?
Yeah, I just sent a text to Donald, but I haven't. It would seem like we would hear something from them.
Right.
I'm gonna go see if Sophie's heard from Colin.
Okay.
So she's gonna go find Sophie.
So Sophie will immediately try to contact Colin telepathically.
Okay.
Intelligence and subterfuge.
Dun, 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 dun.
That is one success.
All right.
She is clearly distressed.
Doo-doo-doo. The mind you are trying to reach is no longer available. Please hang up and try your
Oh
call again.
no.
That is not good. That is okay. Then she'll try Doug.
Just in a bad cell reception area. That's all.
I know.
We're underground.
Okay, this time she gets 4.
Okay.
And I just gave you a reroll.
Yep.
Nice.
Dahlia is also tracing Crimson Woad on her.
Okay.
Remus is doing ballet stretches in the back, getting limber.
Right. Yeah.
But to metal music.
Oh yeah. some like Black Swan like preparation like.
Sophie, have you heard from anybody?
I got this weird text, but I don't understand. Maybe it's like a wrong number. I'll show the phone to her.
Okay. Lily's going to text back a question mark on Sophie's phone.
I suppose,
Okay.
suppose that's an okay idea.
Okay.
I can send messages?
I know, yeah. You don't get
How
anything
novel.
She's a public figure now. She doesn't respond to unknown numbers.
It's not a beeper.
It's a computer.
So this doesn't mean anything to you?
I don't think so.
Hub, would that be for a hubby?
I don't know.
Let's puzzle this out as we head our way over and kind of see what the situation is.
Should we check the news and see?
Yeah, why don't we check the news? Because it's not like my father not to check in.
I mean, the
and
news
it doesn't seem like Jesse would have done the same thing. He would have checked in.
I imagine the news is probably going to be pretty busy covering the U.S. Marshal attacks on several houses. But either way, like if they got caught up, or if there's like we need to, can we check the news on the ride over?
Should I zip?
Where would you go to?
The entrance to the temple.
If you think that's where they're at.
That's where they were going, right?
Are you going to be safe doing that?
I mean, from the outside, probably.
Yeah.
If it only takes you like a few seconds, you might as well, because time is of the effort. We got to get moving.
Okay. Then, did I get Doug telepathically?
No.
Okay. Perception awareness. Okay. Five.
Okay, and you're doing your astral projection?
Yes.
Okay, and where are you going?
I am going to the entrance where we were going to send them.
Gotcha. You see that there is police tape, and there is one squad car. They've got the place kind of blocked off.
So does it look like the police have been inside?
Yes.
Okay, well, if it's safe for police, then it's probably safe for me, so I'll poke in.
Okay. So, I mean, looks like they are, they have already done their review. It's taped off. Not that that's going to affect you any.
No.
But it looks like something may have happened in the hallway. You can see signs of that there were some blood and fighting both outside the door and in this hallway here.
I'm gonna do a quick sweep and see if I can find any sign of our crew.
So by quick sweep, what do you mean?
I mean, just like visually zip through the building.
So you're going to go in the temple?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't like that work.
If he starts asking us to roll, we should all just hang up the call.
Oh no, we're going for a tunnel.
Oh,
Oh no, my internet's going out.
Yeah. Oh no.
Oh no.
Yeah, there you go.
I can't hear you.
Static.
So
I'm
as
gonna
you
log out.
so as you end up zipping around, you end up seeing the inside of the temple, and it's clear there was apparently a lot of fighting that happened in here. There are some remains of like corpses in here.
Are any of them ours?
None that you can tell.
Okay.
But one of the disturbing things that you see as you zip around in here is that there you don't end up seeing Damaris anywhere, and also it looks like from what you can tell, the Sabbat have gathered in the mausoleum. What members are here, and you end up seeing one group of, I think, 4 now. Hold on a second. 1, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, so 5. So there are 5, all of which look like they're probably CW actors of some kind. They've got that look to them. Another one, the other group that's in there, there's a group of 4. They all have like 2 of them, like one's a cholo, one's a chola. Another guy just looks like a big scary European guy who likes meat cleavers. And then the other one looks like some standard suburbanite white kid who has all kinds of maul swords and knives. But all of them seem to have bladed weapons of some kind. They're all like talking, amongst themselves. You're in there long enough to pick up on the fact that the one pack's name is the After School Specials. And the other pack's name is All Knives Matter.
Oh, the Sabbat are the worst.
Abby likes it because Abby likes puns.
It's true.
Are they talking about our people?
They're talking about an attack on the city, and they are being very, very colorful in the fact that with certain unflattering words, that they're almost positive it was the Anarchs that did this, but they don't know how exactly they're able to coordinate like this daylight raid or whatnot, and they're still trying to get word to the Archbishop and some of the others. And you also overhear that they're not going to take the fall. The after school specials are really mad. They're adamant that they're not going to take the fall for Damaris getting taken. So somebody else is going to have to answer to that, to the Archbishop or more importantly Black Wallace when he gets here.
Okay, so it sounds like they weren't actually present during the fight. They're just investigating afterwards, perhaps. Okay, so I don't have any clues about where our people are,
No,
and I don't see any signs of our people or like,
that is correct.
okay. Would aura perception pick up anything additional?
That is a great in character question.
I will use aura perception.
Okay.
I have one success.
Okay. So you are looking around with aura perception. All of them are mad. That's about all you can really pick up on as far as your auras or whatnot. Kind of keeping your peepers peeled, looking around for that regular human bartender that just kind of stands out for any particular reason. Jackie Daytona.
Regular human bartender.
Regular human bartender. What do you mean? That's how we talk in Tucson, Arizona.
I also love how CW actor has become like one of our established metrics for beauty.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Too perfect.
Yep. So, but as you are glancing around, you end up seeing somebody kind of lean over, like they're getting a message. Somebody's talking to them, but you can't really see like who. And they turn around and they look, and then they look right at you.
I'm out of there.
Okay, boom. That was enough for you.
Yeah. Okay, back outside, I'm going to find the policeman who's in charge of this and jump into his head.
Okay.
See what he knows.
Doing telepathy.
I have one success.
One success. So the most you pick up is that he currently hates his job. Because he's just standing around watching a crime scene that nobody's really interested in right now.
Can I try again?
You can try one more time.
5.
5. Okay. Not a whole lot. He came, looks like at the latter half of whatever was happening, as a relief, to keep an eye on the place. The rumors that they're operating off of right now is that there was some sort of gang fight here. They're not sure why it went into the maintenance tunnel. They're looking into it. They found some spent shell casings. They found some dragon's breath rounds, casings around. So there's like phosphorus remains of one. So that's kind of alarming. And he also had heard wind that there was some bodies dumped somewhere, but some other cops are looking into that.
Okay.
And he thinks it's really weird that the city got super active for some reason, like throughout the day and whatnot. He just went crazy.
Is he thinking anything about other attacks across the city today?
No. I mean, he's obviously heard of some, but it doesn't look like he was privy to anything that was going on. So it's just in abstract of like, the city had gone crazy for a bit and didn't understand why.
Okay, then I will skedaddle and head back. And then I will relay all of that to my group.
Okay. Poof.
essentially, this is what the scene looks like. I think our people were there based on the dragon's fire rounds. I don't see any sign of them. There are a couple of we weren't familiar with those packs before. We didn't mention those packs earlier. So 2 new packs. They got wind of me just very briefly, and then I left. So,
But they're there right now.
yes,
Now's the time. We can get them both, right? Do the
we would
mushroom
have to
thing,
do the what thing?
or the whatever, the thing that Dahlia does. You know, her thing, to get them all at the same time.
The zombie plan?
I guess she could do that as long as nobody goes inside past the police tape.
We also don't have a zombie grenade though, because it turned into oil and blew up the train station. Remember? We need a body to carry it in, right?
Well,
Plus, we don't know if there's police like inside it.
Would a rat work, Dahlia?
Yes.
Okay, give me a moment. So Lily's going to step outside.
Okay.
And she is going to use her Black Rock ability to call a rat to her.
Okay. Go ahead and roll.
Okay, I gotta find my sheet.
And are we definitely sure that our team is out? That they got away?
I don't know. I just know that they're not currently in there.
but were they talking as if they didn't know where our team was?
Correct.
You said that Damaris isn't there,
Right.
right?
Right.
Then our team did it. They're hiding somewhere, probably. Maybe they had problems getting back here. Because if the enemy doesn't know, that's better than them knowing.
I mean, it's possible. I mean, maybe for all we know, maybe they wanted to prevent anyone from following them to us. But
Right.
that doesn't explain why I wouldn't be able to reach them mentally.
Sophie,
Yeah.
with that verbal outpouring of thought, why don't you give me another wits and investigation?
Oh, 3.
3, okay. Oh. So Lily goes outside, speaks in Postle tongue for a second, in some fashion, and squeak squeaker, squeak squeaking. Up comes some rats out from the sewer drain not far away. So you got 5.
Okay, she's going to have him follow her inside.
Do you have animalism?
Well, she should be able.
I
Well,
do.
Okay, she does.
Because remember, you can call them to you, but you can't really do much with them because you don't have animalism. You can't communicate to them.
I can make him incite them to
Yeah,
attack somebody.
Exactly. You can basically make them mad. That's like swatting the hornet's nest and going, ah.
Okay.
I have animalism, so
Yes.
I
I do
can
too.
Cool.
try.
I could teach you. Someone could teach you.
That would
So,
be
Sophie,
good
what'd
to
you get?
know.
I have to charge.
Then you can
I
talk
was
to my
just
kitty.
going to say that.
You have
So-
to what?
Sophie, what'd you get?
2.
2. So as you're saying, well, I don't understand why I couldn't reach them, and then you went, unless they're not on this plane.
What? Like they're dead?
No,
Like
but similar, like not on this plane.
Magic.
There has
Your
been
hub?
there has been one instance that Sophie has run into this.
Hub? Hub station?
I got nothing.
Yeah,
No idea.
it's pretty deep in your notes. I'll give you that.
I will do some research.
Sure. Okay. Dahlia, I take it you're gonna.
Yeah, do I just roll the dots I have in animalism, or do I roll
Nope.
something else with it?
No, animalism for Feral Whispers. It's its own role. So 1 second.
Careless Whispers. The tune
Oh, actually,
is now
no, it's
going in
not.
my
It's
head to Feral Whispers.
if you're attempting to give a command, it's going to be manipulation and animal kin roll.
Okay. Manipulation and animal kin. Okay.
And it's going to
What's
be
the difficulty?
difficulty 7.
That is 2 successes.
Oh, nice. So what do you tell them?
Uh, good question. I don't know. Probably that it's where to go,
Okay.
and that do vampires have like a specific smell?
Depends on your humanity level.
Oh, okay.
Either you stink
Never
or you
mind.
don't
That's
stink.
helpful. Did Sophie explain what they looked like? Like the vampires inside?
Yeah, I would have.
Okay. She explains that she wants them to get near the knives group, and like they have blades, like shiny and
Okay, they understand the shiny.
dangerous looking.
They have no
Yeah.
idea what a knife is.
Yes.
You got to keep in mind that even though you can talk to them, they don't
Yes,
have
I
a
gotta
human's
speak
intellect.
what they understand. Yes. Shiny, and then
I'll be right back again.
How are you going to transmit the disease?
I have to infect them.
Which means that
They will die.
Well, that's okay.
Well, they're rats. No big loss, right? I mean,
well, ask the rat. But wouldn't that also mean that they would infect everybody from here to there?
Yeah, potentially. We
So
might have to go there
Yeah, I
to
was
do
gonna
it.
say, so we need to go there with the rats. You infect them and send them in.
Did we bring gas masks?
Yes, we did.
Dahlia also explains how we can prevent getting the spores too. Didn't we discuss
Yeah,
that?
you said don't breathe.
Yeah. Well, it was more like I wasn't sure if we had like, because we had planned for like gas mask, or we thought about getting gas masks, but I wasn't sure if that was part of like.
Yeah, no,
our actual plan.
Lily, yeah, they got the gas masks from Trudy because Lily said that we have to intake air in order to talk.
Right.
So she got the gas mask.
Okay. Yeah, because we got to make sure that they don't like the rats don't leave the place
Well,
either.
the rats will die.
Well, yeah,
I mean, if they can just be controlled to go in there, and then you said, Dahlia, that once you infect these things, you can like control them, right?
Yes, to a degree.
Okay. I mean, good enough, right? Because we just need them to infect them. We got them. That was the whole plan, wasn't it?
Need to make sure that they stay contained.
Okay.
Or burn the bodies when they're done.
Right.
No, we
Doable.
can do that too, can't we? Burn them.
Think so.
Well, let's get a move on, because they're not going to stay there for long.
Right.
Yeah, let's go. Let's bring our rats.
Can I prep like the spores on the way, Jerome?
No, actually, you can't.
Okay.
Okay, so are we? What did I miss?
Lots.
Everything.
End of the world conversation.
There's a rat right next to Sophie.
I don't think she's afraid of rats. just hobos.
We found one of Colin's abs on the floor.
No.
That's what that roll. I can say that's what that roll was for. How many abs he lost?
Oh no.
He's got
She'll-
20,
She'll
so
just put it in a little pot and like pour some water on it. Leave it out in the
I
sun.
I figured Sophie would have just made the ab gauntlet.
Mhm.
So, I had an idea. I looked through my notes and I think I found a clue, but I don't know where it would be. But I have a thought.
Okay.
okay.
Together.
In terms of priority, like where does it? Because I mean, we're
I mean,
Like-
if we're going to take out the Sabbat, then let's do that.
Well, we need to do that because you said that they suspect us anyway, so they are going to retaliate if we do not take
but if
them
we're
out.
driving over there, then
We need to get rid of the police officer, which shouldn't be hard. Ben is really good at dominating,
Well,
and I'm not saying from experience.
gross. Let's keep moving.
anyway,
I agree, Remus. Let's not talk about that.
Remus and Dahlia just silently fist bump and just look away.
Yeah. Remus is already in the
Let's
car.
go.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're like, let's go.
Okay.
yeah, let's go.
So everybody files into your respective cars. You got well, two of them were taken out. So you've got one at this point.
Which is my van, probably.
Yes.
All right, so. Okay. Yeah. Let's go.
Okay,
all right.
rats and all.
I can't see Dale.
Yeah. For some reason, I've been noticing that George and Dale have been having some connection issues. It looks like.
It's weird. I'm plugged in. I got the thing and everything.
I've been having connection issues too.
Yeah, let me
Yeah, I don't know what's going on.
let me reload the room real quick.
Sure.
I
go ahead.
see everybody, but occasionally somebody will pop out for a second.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah, I can still see everybody. Dale at this point isn't on the layout, but I can hear him just fine.
Yeah.
Now I see everybody. Oh, there he is. Hello.
Yeah. Yeah, you got a bad connection again, George. Yeah, it looks like it dropped off. There we go. Sort of.
No, I'm not seeing everybody again.
Can you hear us?
I can hear. I see everybody but Dale and Jerome.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
I'm definitely
Can you-
here.
I'm
Can
here.
you hear them though?
No,
No.
Oh.
Okay.
I'm gonna try popping back in again. At a pivotal moment. Why couldn't this happen when I was rolling for death?
Can you hear and see everybody now?
Yes.
Sweet.
Okay.
What browser are you using?
Firefox.
You're using Firefox?
Mhm.
Okay.
That's what I use.
You may want to try a different browser too at times, just to be on the safe side. I know some people have had don't have issues with Firefly, but I don't know. It's one of the other
Firefly?
suggestions that they had.
Yeah,
Okay.
Firefox, whatever, guys.
Yeah.
I'll download Chrome.
Yeah, that's what I use is Chrome.
I use Chrome as well.
Okay, so we're cruising down the highway.
Well, yeah, it's not really the highway. You're actually cruising down through downtown at this point. So, are you going to the entrance that you were aware of then,
Mm-hmm.
where the police have got it all taped off?
As we're driving, would it be possible for the Baron to, and I'll say this, like, Sophie, should you message the Marshal Rayland, and kind of like see what, like, if if he has an update on his status, anything on like anything he could tell us as we head into this?
Yeah, like how many were taken out?
Might as well. So while we're driving over there, I will give him a call.
Oh, and also ask him if we're allowed to use his authority to get the police to like go away.
Oh, Ben could just dominate him.
It might also help to have like we're with the marshals, you guys can clear out, we'll take care of it from here.
We'll see.
Okay, so
So
I'm sorry, you doing what?
I'm going to call Marshal Raylan.
Okay, so the phone number just goes to voicemail at this point.
Okay. Did we check the news to see what was going on in the city?
Well, we were going to check it on the way.
So far nobody has. It's just been
Okay. Then when I don't get
Getting
through,
ready.
I'll go ahead and check that too
okay.
instead.
I mean, there's news clips or news clippings, I should say, online about the Marshal Service getting into a firefight, trying to serve a convict, an escaped convict, I should say, that had gone across state lines and so on and so forth. It's kind of vague, but it does indicate that a shootout involved through multiple parties. Local law enforcement was looped in, as well as the ATF. So they're going to obviously be updating that as more information has been made available. What they can state is that there are at least 7 wounded law enforcement, or from the various law enforcement agencies, and they believe that there's been at least 3 casualties as far as the criminals are concerned, but they're still waiting for names, the identities of the victims or of the perpetrators.
Okay, I'll be reading this out loud while we're driving.
Okay.
And I'll say this hub thing. I've been thinking about it, and when Colin and I first came to Portland back when it was in the hands of the CAM, he introduced me to his sorcerer friends for some meeting, and it took place in, I don't know, it was like we went through some sort of portal, I guess. And if there's any place that I'm supposed to be aware of, then that's probably it.
You don't remember where it's at.
Oh, I remember where it is. I just, I mean, I could find it again. I just, the sense that I got was, vampires are not exactly on friendly terms there, but I mean, maybe we're different. It's been a couple of years and we've worked together on different projects. Maybe maybe it would be okay.
Well, at least for you, since you are Colin's wife, let's get the Sabbat taken care of, and then let's find our people.
Right.
Okay.
The number that Sansa texted, do I know who that was to? Did I recognize the number?
No.
Okay.
So it's probably like a phone tree thing.
Possibly. I texted somebody, Hub.
Yeah, but I would have Sansa's phone number. So
You
Yeah.
wouldn't have her phone number. You guys communicated to that chat.
Which lists numbers in it for replies.
No,
it was a
it's
text.
no, it's like
No?
an instant messenger chat.
Oh, I
Oh.
thought we had Sansa's number because we
Yeah.
had to call her because
Me
she
too.
wasn't in our chat.
No, that's right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so then I mean, at this point, then you would probably recognize the number. It's not one you would readily recognize. So I'd say then maybe you'd recognize it.
Okay, so out of character, it was Sansa's number.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Okay. I thought maybe it was like a third party sort of thing.
No.
Okay.
Yeah, she wouldn't have had your number saved. So she just texted this number and, you know.
Okay. Well, as far as Hub goes, that's all I can think of. So
Okay, well, let's go take care of these unmentionables and go find our people.
Right.
100%.
Okay. So then that's where we're going to stop for the night because it's right at about 3 hours.
Okay.
That was a lot.
So
Yeah.
I am sorry that most of our people were on the sideline for most of this game.
Yeah, it was an important
fine.
scene, though.
Yes, it was fun to watch.
Good
Yeah.
job, Rachel.
It was.
I
You know, I find
Oh my
it funny
gosh.
because
I
he
was getting
didn't hear us
frustrated.
talking about it. Because I said, wouldn't it be epic if she saves her own character?
no,
Yeah.
And you turned around and had her do it.
no, that's crazy. Not out of the woods yet, though. We might be, but right now we're hiding in a portal, apparently.
Well, she definitely helped save 3/4 of her character.
The other parts can grow back. At least I have a jaw.
Oh,
ouch.
he's not even here to feel the burn.
Hey.
I finally just
You
now.
know what? An
figured out
arm is way
how-
easier to replace. That's
We'll
funny.
just give
What'd
her
you say,
some
Brittany?
chrome.
I said this whole time I've been thinking Nolan. Where do I know that name? And now I finally figured it out who it was.
Mhm.
So, okay, interesting.
Man.
Yeah, but they weren't your notes though, not from Sophie, I should say.
No.
Yeah.
No. Sophie doesn't know that who Nolan is,
Yep. So
which is ironic because we were just talking about that before the game.
yeah, no. So the next game is going to be, according to our schedule, will be the 31st of March. And then obviously but tomorrow is our Marvel game. Or superhero game, I should say. It's not actually Marvel. So that's going to start at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, since we're on PST now. And now we're actually going to be able to get back to Bloodlines. So tune into that. That's going to be
Ties.
on March 25th.
Poor Jerome.
What?
You said
Blood
bloodlines.
ties. But it's blood ties.
Blood Ties. Well, I've been going back and reading a bunch of comic books, and there's a crossover for Avengers and X-Men called Bloodlines.
Oh,
Oh.
nice.
So that's probably where I got it from, because I've been going back and reading a bunch of older 90s and 2000s comics.
I've been
Anyway.
playing the game.
So anyways, so Blood Ties will be on the 25th, and that will be at 11 a.m. And so I hope I hope those of you who tuned in will tune in for that. In the meantime, if you haven't, you can catch this, of course, on the replay, and we'll have everything updated to YouTube shortly. Thank you guys for tuning in, and thank you guys for playing. So good night, guys.
All right.
Right.
Hey guys.
Night.